guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So I'm really pleased to be able to bring you this video. It was kind of recommended to me by my good friend Chris over at Merley on Time that I should sort of send Long Island Watchers a message or email, whatever, asking if they'd like me to review, or could I review one or two of their watches. They were good enough to send this one over. It's their new one. It's the Linendahl ISL-131. I don't want to say too much on the intro because I want you to continue watching, but it's kind of taking my breath away in parts, to be honest. There's so much to like about this watch. It comes in at $349, which comes in equivalent to sort of £260, I think. The obviously exchange rates fluctuate, but it's definitely one with the construction, with the sapphire front and bottom, the movement. There's lots and lots to like about this watch. Not perfect, but for my mind, only a shade of being it, especially for the price. On wearing it, I've had so many compliments about it, and yeah, Mark and Ryan over at Long Island Watches, you're doing some incredible stuff, and your watches are just going up and up and up. You can tell you're watch people, but yeah, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know whether it's for you or not. I'm pretty confident though, because it's a bit of a gem. But I do appreciate you tuning back in. And without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. The one thing you don't get from Long Island is any sort of elaborate packaging. Very standard. Does the job though, keeps it safe in transit, and you can see the money does get spent on the watch. So it does come with a screwdriver, which I'm not sure where I've put. Also, I've taken 3 links out for it for my wrist even. It also comes with a warranty and instruction card there. None of it's signed, and you can see the stickers that I've taken off the watch. Decent pillow actually, quite velvet feeling, nice. And then yeah, that's the box, as I said. And this is quite a new offering from Long Island Watches. And just have a look at that dial very quickly, guys. A Linendahl. I got to say, the pictures don't do it justice. This dial is beautiful. In different lighting conditions, it almost reminds me of sort of a wintry scene with ice and snow. Yeah, lovely, really, really nice. You know me, I love a nice dial as well. So, but yeah, that's the dial. Let's get on with the specs of the watch now. So it's the ISL-131. As I say, this is their dressy piece, and from having a couple of others before, just a little quick one, you can see the sort of improvements they're making. This is a very nice watch, and I've got a couple of things to mention at the end. Inside, it's running an automatic Miyota 9015 movement. I'll bring some information up for that now. One of my favourite movements, the 9000 series Miyota movements are fantastic. This is the 9015 because it's got a date variant, and this is the date variant. You've also got a non-date variant as well. But high beat movement, 4 hertz movement, 28,000 beats per hour. And you'll see the information on it. Gives you a very nice sweep because of the specs it's got, and I've never had one that's not running in good parameters. This is running sort of a couple of seconds fast per day, which is insane. I've worn it now for a good few days, and I've only sort of gained maybe 10 seconds, I think, and so yeah, I'll take that all day long. But yeah, that's the movement, guys. Nice, good, affordable, high-end 4 hertz movement. The whole watch, really, apart from the crystal at the front and back, is all 316L stainless steel. So what you've got is a high polished bezel. You've got the case, crown, outer part of the exhibition case back, solid end links, bracelet and clasp, but all 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of this watch is 10.4 millimeters. The case diameter, when you go from the 8 to the 2, I'm measuring at 38.9. When you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, that does become 40.4 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20. That does taper down to 16 and back up to 18 at the clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip, is 44.5. That does overhang though because of the male end links to the center link, and becomes 48.2 millimeters. So just bear that in mind, guys. Let me just undo the clasp, give you a better look at the part at the back of it. It's an exhibition case back, and as you can see, there's the Miyota movement, which you'd have seen also just a moment ago. If I can get, no, it's not going to spin round. Of course it won't, I'm filming. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And what's pretty cool about this bag, again, you don't get this on a lot of watches that are very affordable. It's a sapphire crystal on the exhibition case back, which is very, very cool. Tested it, very, very nice. Screwed down, so that's the case back. The bezel you'd have seen, it's a high polished bezel, it gives it a bit of bling. I do like that. Nice high polished bezel, and the crown is situated at the 3 o'clock position. It's a screw down crown and signed with the Islander logo. Very, very nice. Fits on the crown nicely, given how it's shaped in terms of being round, so that's good. The strap is a stainless steel strap. As I say, nice bit of taper, nice tolerances actually. I like the fact it's got a bit of wriggle, not really jingly jangly when you shake it. Very nice tolerances. So brushed on the outer, polished on the center. Individual links, which is cool. Polished on the sides, and also got screw pins just to size it up. And as I said, it does come with a screwdriver, so it makes it that bit easier to just size up. And then it comes with a clasp, two parts of it. A mill to the inner 2 parts. The outer part is pressed, so that's maybe something to consider moving forward, given how well made this watch is and all the specs. I think the outer shell kind of lets it down a little bit, but we'll talk about that, I have no doubt, in a little bit later. The crystal covering the dial, as I've said already, is sapphire crystal. So you've got sapphire on the front, sapphire on the back, giving it a sapphire sandwich, and we like a sapphire sandwich. Very, very nice. The water resistance of this watch is cited at being 100 meters, so that would give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance. And the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. It's in and around 118 grams, give or take, with 3 links taken out. So you're probably looking at about 125-ish grams, all links in. So very, very nice weight, nice proportions on the watch. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So what you have, you've got a raised rehaut that's got a minute track going around the edge. Inside that, you've got the dial, obviously, which is the linen dial. Let me unscrew it quickly so you can have an idea of be able to see it properly. Should we say 20 past 8 is normally where I like to stick it at, so then you can see everything. I won't put the crown back in because we'll use that in a second. So yeah, linen dial. You got applied battens everywhere. You got double battens at the 12, single battens everywhere else. You got the date window at the 6 o'clock position. I love that, to be honest. I love the way they've done it. Nice border and fitted perfectly in terms of it sits bang in the middle of the date window, which is nice. Just below the double batten at the 12, you have the Islander logo printed on, and just above the date window at the 6, you got automatic printed onto the dial also. The hands are nicely polished, nice proportions, and so too are the indices. Maybe they could have done with a little bit more high polishiness or a bit more contrast, but yeah, I don't mind that really. And I'll bring the lume up now. The lume's not too bad when you bear in mind the fact that it's a dress watch, isn't it? So I appreciate the fact they put on a decent amount of lume there, to be honest. It looks nice. A little bit more in the hands than the indices, but it looks good. And as I say, for a dress watch, plenty on there. As you see, it's a 9K, it's a 9015 movement. You take the crown out, it will hack. You put it back to sort of neutral position, which is where it'll be once you unscrew it. You can hand wind it. You can feel it feels nice and positive when you hand wind. Take it to the first position. You can scroll through the date, and as I said, you can see it beautifully centered in that date window. And as I said before, you take it out to the second position, it will hack, and there you go. And then once you're done, you just screw it back up. And as I said, the knurling on it is very, very positive, very engaging, not difficult to sort of screw and unscrew, which is what you want to see from the crown. And as I said, nice size crown, and they've even indented it a little bit so it sits into the case, which is also very nice. But that's a dial, guys. As I said, the dial for this is a winner. It's a star, really. It's something that, as I said before, that I don't think the pictures do justice to how beautiful this dial is. But let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. I've used one level of the micro adjustment on the clasp, and I've taken 3 links out, and that's what it looks like on me. Yeah, nice, and that's what it looks like on my wrist. A stunning piece, guys, and the specs and everything else. Yeah, all this for, is it $300? $349, I believe. And yeah, I'll leave some conversions up at the moment to let you know what that is in pounds and euros. But a lot of watch, I think, for the price, $349. And if you live in the States, I think it's free delivery. If you live in the UK or everywhere else, it's a pretty standard $15 delivery fee, which is cool as well. Not too much, but I can't comment on whether you're going to get done for import. It really depends on your country, I suppose. But yeah, that's the details. That's the dial. That's what it looks like on wrist. That will now take me on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants is there's not a lot with this watch, guys. I'll be honest. I think it's a stunner. The main thing I think is the elephant in the room is the pressed outer shell on the clasp. I do think, given how high end the rest of the watch feels, the tolerances, the brushing, the polishing, and I didn't mention it before, but the faceted edges on that, yeah, brushed up top of the lugs, polished on the sides, but sort of the indentation they've done just for detail on the sides is beautiful. But yeah, the pressed clasp is a bit of a letdown. There's so much about this watch to like, but yeah, the pressed outer shell could do with going, and I'm sure I'll upgrade that in the future. But yeah, just the pressed outer shell. The Melvin links really as well, I mentioned, given just it adds a few mil more than it needs to. It still conforms to the wrist okay, but yeah, plus it does sort of has a bit of downturn in there, so it may be a bit harsh, but yeah, maybe just that as well. But the two things, as I said, I was struggling, to be honest, guys, because this is a beautiful watch. So I'd go with the pressed outer shell on the clasp and the Melvin links. What I think is pucker is, yeah, the Sapphire sandwich. Who doesn't love a Sapphire sandwich at this point? I'd get it as part of my meal deal if I could. The dial's stunning. Real beautiful dial, as I say. Different lighting, just picks up different sort of parts of the dial, and it's just beautiful. Even little indentations. Oh, I love this dial. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it, but it's beautiful. The movement, the 9K series of Miyota movements will always get a thumbs up from me over at Watch the Time. The date window, in terms of the fact they put a frame on it, the fact of how it's centered, and the fact it's at the 6 o'clock position, all ticks for me. Fantastic. The case finishing, as I've said, the details they put on the case, the brushing transition to polishing on the sides, the indentations on the side of the case, yeah, done really well. The bracelet, as I said, mentioned before, the tolerances on this are nice, no sharp edges, it tapers nicely, done really well. And the price, that says $349, is sort of AliExpress money. And the one thing you do get, and I've had this a couple of times myself from Long Island watches that you don't get on AliExpress, is customer service. And when you talk to Mark or Ryan, they are proper gentlemen. They get back to you in no time if you email them, and they always find a solution. So yeah, in terms of the price coupled with the customer service, they can't be touched really. I've got to say, I've got no reason to say that apart from the fact that's just how I found them. The customer service belies the price really, given a lot of times when you get that sort of customer service, you kind of expect to pay a little bit more. So the fact these come in at sort of AliExpress money is amazing. So yeah, the price and customer service I'll go with on top of that. So just to surmise what I think is, pucker is a sapphire crystal or the sapphire sandwich, the dial, the movement, the date window, the case finishing, the bracelet and the price. What I think is pucker. And would I recommend this watch? All I can say is that this was sent out for review. They were good enough to send it out to me. I had all intentions of sending it back, but I've broken my rule of falling in love with a watch that was here for review. But it's hard not to when it's as well done and as beautiful as this watch. So would I recommend it? Of course I would, given the fact that I'm now going to buy it off of them. Tells you that it's a real stunner of a watch. The linen dial was done superb. Everything about this watch just screams quality, and all for $349. So guys and girls, yeah, I'll definitely recommend this watch. And but please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like and subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care guys, all the very best.